War has been declared on the entire Bill of Rights, but we've always known, and our founders warned us, that when they come for the guns, you know your nation is in dire peril. That's why the founders called for gun control, and that's why I'm now endorsing it. No, not gun control over the people, who are the source of liberty and justice, and wherever firearms are found, evil is restrained, as Thomas Jefferson said. No, I'm calling for government and the illegal standing army that is Homeland Security, a fifth branch of the military, that admits its mission is to suppress gun owners, conservatives, libertarians, returning veterans, Christians. This is the globalist corporate takeover army. And they've used the fake pretext of terrorism to set this up. And now they're telling us, forget about Al-Qaeda. The new terrorists are domestic conservative gun owners who won't turn their guns in. Everything the system has done is to condition us to accept this so that the globalists can fully implode the economy and accelerate their social engineering. America is under attack from within and without by the globalists. And I also call for collaborators like Dianne Feinstein, Bloomberg, Michael Moore, John McCain, and others to relinquish their firearms to the local government and to declare that they are giving up their taxpayer-paid-for bodyguards in the case of the senators and people like Mayor Bloomberg, who has more than 15 people on his security detail.
In the spirit of gun control, will you disarm your entire security team?
We'll get right back to you.
You'll get
Came
back
over
to me?
very friendly.
Would you like a sip of my
very
soda?
friendly body language. They're grabbing on him.
Why?
Grabbing on him, dragging him away.
Why can you defend yourself but not
pushing him back?
The majority of Americans. I mean, look at the team of security you got. And you're an advocate for gun control? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. I'm counting. There are probably more.
And these globalists are desperate that the public not learn of the FBI statistics that are collected from local governments across the United States that conclusively show since 1991, violent crime has dropped 49%. It's going straight down because gun ownership is going straight up. Gun ownership goes up, crime rates go down. It is a fact. And the system is panicking over that Chicago and New York and other places where only the government mafia has firearms are crime-ridden bastions of oppression. Think about it. We see a giant Homeland Security arms buildup, and then we get their terror training manuals, and they announce their new #1 enemy is gun owners and people that won't turn their firearms in. This is an authoritarian takeover. This is an attempt to sell their purge against the American people. That's why we've got to use the First Amendment now like we never have before, or we're going to lose this entire country. The globalists are coming in here testing the waters to see if they can sell the public on a civil war with Homeland Security as a standing army waging war against the American people who value the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, and our sacred republic. Different gangs of thugs come into businesses, come into homes, come into public places and attempt to rob and attack the peaceful population. And where citizens stand up as true guardians of liberty and defend themselves and those around them.
We can't have a totally armed society. I'm not a sixth grader. Senator, I've been on this committee for 20 years. I was a mayor for 9 years. I've seen the bullets that implode. This does not prohibit, you use the word prohibit, it exempts 2,271 weapons. Isn't that enough for the people in the United States? Do they need a bazooka?
Senator Dianne Feinstein was the author of the assault weapons ban in 1994.
Professor Koppel, was the 1994 assault weapons ban a sensible and effective means of reducing gun violence?
Based on the Department of Justice study, the answer was no.
The assault weapons ban made sense.
Easy to shoot, big clips, 100+ bullets in each, large velocity guns.
If I could have gotten 51 votes in the Senate of the United States for an outright ban, picking up every one of them, Mr. and Mrs. America, turn them all in, I would have done it.
Your access to the right to bear arms is canceled because you're not part of the American family. You don't deserve that right. there is no right for you.
None of these rights are absolute. None of them.
No one will be able to be armed. We will take all weapons.
Lies, 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 lies.
You've heard it here. I'm on television, so everybody knows it. I believe in the Second Amendment. I believe in people's lawful right to bear arms.
Is that guy serious?
I will not take your shotgun away. I will not take your rifle away. I won't take your handgun away.
Mr. and Mrs. America, turn them all in. Robbing and carjacking people for weeks.
It's a story we broke last night at 10 o'clock. Tonight, an exclusive interview with the woman who put an end to all of it. 12 News' Terry Sater joins us now with that story.
Craig and Kathy, I just spoke with Victoria Davis, and then when a group of teens came up to her, tried to rob her, she wasn't going down without a fight. They indicated they had a gun, and she shot one of them. Here she is in her own words.
Well, he did grab me from the back, one grabbed me from the front. I dropped my keys. I had my firearm in the car in a pouch because I have a conceal and carry permit. So I grabbed my pouch with my firearm out of my car, and then I was struggling trying to get it out of the pouch because it was zipped. At the same time, when they were both holding me. They were in the process of throwing me on the ground when I finally got it out, at which point I shot the one that was in front of me. The one in the back of me, he said a curse word, and then he looked at his friend and he ran off while his friend was laying on the ground.
But then when you hear the kinds of things police say he's been doing, that changes your opinion.
Definitely. I think that, I mean, he's 15, but he's making adult decisions. One robbery, okay, maybe, you know, maybe he should be charged as a juvenile because he needs to learn a lesson. But several, and then even after he shot somebody in the face, then you still are committing robberies, and then that was when he tried to rob me.
Victoria Davison says she's been told prosecutors want to charge the teen as a juvenile, Craig, but she wants him tried as an adult. She's a nurse whose instinct and training is to help people.
Well, tonight we are getting our first look at the 15-year-old boy accused in this crime. He's seen here on his Facebook page flashing guns and money, and well, right now he's under arrest in his hospital bed.
They're also scared of all the local newscasts every day in this country. There's thousands of these videos online showing citizens protecting themselves from vicious robbers, criminals, and rapists. They are scared of the fact that the common sense that we have a responsibility to protect ourselves is beginning to get out there.
We begin tonight with a gripping story you'll see only on 7.
A brave mom takes aim to protect her family from home invaders busting down the door. That's just the start of a drama that played out in front of a surveillance camera.
7 Action News reporter Simon Shaquette is live downtown police headquarters tonight to show you how this all went down. And Simon, they certainly messed with the wrong mom here, huh?
This mom was prepared to do anything to defend her young, and remarkably, it was all caught on video. Take a good look at the 3 teenage punks caught here on surveillance video. They don't know it yet, but they've picked the wrong home to rob. They break down the door and race in, only to find the mom inside, locked, loaded, and about to pull the trigger of this rifle. One of these young thugs also has a handgun he drops right here as they make a run for it. Then he boldly picks it up and goes in one more time, only to get another dose. The brave mother in the home was defending her 2 young children here on Woodrow Wilson. She and her husband recently had security cameras installed after a different break-in attempt just 2 weeks ago. This time, she didn't have time to feel fear, only to react.
I let them know I had a gun once they was in the house, and they challenged me and said I don't have a gun. So that's when I shot off the first round. I wasn't feeling anything at the moment. I got scared afterwards.
Once she called 911, Detroit police were quick to respond and go after these 3 thugs. It didn't take long for them to get locked up.
The cops got all 3 of them and the gun they had. I give them a lot of credit because they handled it the same night.
As Chief Craig has said in the past, I mean, there's no more, your time is up. We don't have any more patience for criminals in this city. We will get you, we will find you, and you will go to jail.
We don't know exactly what these lowlifes came to steal, but one of the children inside knew Mom would protect her and her valuables at all costs. Kudos to Detroit police for great work last night. Live downtown, Simon Shayket, 7 Action News. Carolyn, back to you.
Absolutely. They caught them so quickly. Have these kids been in trouble before? All 3 of them are teenagers, Simon?
Yes, they have. They are familiar to police, and they're certainly taking that into account. They will be charged soon in this case as well.
The globalist mafia wants you to be dependent, wants you to be a victim, wants you to be scared, wants you waiting 15 minutes for the police to arrive, calling 911 instead of protecting yourself. That's what this is all about. Dianne Feinstein, Michael Moore, all of these people that have their own bodyguards are trying to smother the liberty movement. They're trying to shut it down. They know you're waking up to their nanny state tyranny. They know that you're aware of the fact that they have bodyguards. They know that you understand that they work for foreign banks that want to bankrupt and consolidate this country. And that's why they're desperate now to launch a full-out assault on the Second Amendment to destroy this country once and for all. You've seen what the globalist propaganda media spews all day. That if somebody commits a crime with a gun, all gun owners are collectively guilty because of that, and so we all have to be collectively punished. Pure authoritarianism. Our founders warned us about the danger of government. They said, you better keep government tiny and on a short leash, and even if you do, it'll be hard to keep your liberty. George Washington famously said, government is like fire, a dangerous servant and a fearful master. We know government is the #1 threat in world history. And now tyranny has come to America and is telling us we need to turn our guns in. And we've got Dianne Feinstein famously smiling on television and saying, we're going to get our gun control agenda through, if not now, later, because there will be more incidences.
These events are going to continue.
And smiling. Oh, yes. Isn't it exciting to know how you're going to be able to use those dead children? Ignore the millions of kids killed by government after disarmament. These people are salivating over the few massacres that happen so that they can collectively have us put on that guilt and turn in our firearms when we, the people, have lowered the crime rate with our Second Amendment by 49% and saved countless lives and brought countless criminals to justice. And that's the big secret they don't want you to know about. So the answer in closing is get on the offensive. They're going to guilt us over guns, they're going to register our guns, and every time there's a new event, they're going to call for more restrictions and then confiscations once our guns are registered. And that's what they're pushing through the Senate right now. No more private sales where you can't even give a gun to your son or your daughter, and where they can arrest you claiming you don't have proof of a receipt of a 10-round mag. What's happening is the corrupt power structure is declaring war on gun owners. If you were ever on Prozac or ever depressed, your guns are going to be taken. It is a nightmare scenario. If we can't trust the American people to be armed, then we can't trust the government to be armed. In fact, our founders said, trust the people to be armed, don't trust the government to be armed domestically, no standing army. And that's what Homeland Security is a fifth branch of the military operating domestically, and it is cancer. And it staged Fast and Furious as a false flag terror attack to blame the Second Amendment, but by the grace of God, they were exposed. Ladies and gentlemen, history is happening right now. We're winning the Second American Revolution and the info war. That's why the establishment wants to start a civil war by persecuting gun owners.